So CavinKare has a wide and vast range of products as well as services, ranging from personal care to diary to salon services. So generally, some businesses prefer to have a niche in their operations and deal only with like few products. So it boils down to the fact of having a specialization versus, wide range of offerings. What would be your advice to businesses that are looking to diversify and increase their offerings? Is that a good thing? And if yes, when is the right time to diversify?
No, I would say that it all depends on the company's financial muscle, ability to invest, and the kind of leadership capabilities.
Right.
So if I am to do everything, then there is a limitation. Okay, then I would not do spreading myself too thin on multiple sectors. If there are independent business houses, business units, and they are all SBUs by themselves, it makes sense. Focus makes all the difference. That theory can never be challenged. Any number of years that comes in. But the question is am I focusing on all the things? So, or else I'm common to all. There are special focus units and the business leader available for each business, and along with the specialist team, then it makes a difference. In our case, that's the case. There are special business units. There is exclusive CEO, business finance, HR, every sales head, marketing head, all are independent for that thing, production, everything. So that way, I don't think any focus is diluted here. So we are not defying any proven this thing. My advice is that anybody would like to go, please look at the bandwidth. You can't ride two horses.
From a business operation standpoint, how different and how difficult is it to manage a business that is both into products and services? How do you manage your time on focusing each of these?
No, that there is a specialist team for services. They're not the same. If you look at salon team and the CEO and the business units are very different. If you ask my personal manager, that will be at a flop. And so would be true. Because the domain and the expertise and the capabilities are very different. So the team who are managing our salons, they have built it from scratch. And I think they have grown along with the kind of the brand and other things. That way, I think it is working. No issues on that as far as concerned. So it is. I am the common at the board level along with other independent directors and directors. They are all common. But whereas I think each one is a separate business unit, is what I would say. It is not easy to straddle between the two. Right. Service and this thing, unless they are focused on use.
Mm-hmm. So,
and I guess they are doing well.
I'm sure. Right. So if CavinKare is from perspective would be like to be known for product services or both, what is your personal take there?
No, I think they're different each one, or if you look at the salon is a separate SBU by itself. And that has its own ambition, vision, and capabilities. They generate cash. They are very positive oriented. They don't require the support of a parent company for them to survive and so on. And so as the FMCG regular this thing also. They are independent by themselves. So they are all bundled together under one company. That's it. If you have to look at. Okay. If you ask some of the companies who have food products and ice cream, they are very different. And also, if you look at Unilever, is also having a salon. Yep. They have Lakme salons, they have ice creams, they have FMCG products. So they are very, very well diversified compared to what we are.
Yeah, sure. Makes sense. Okay. So for a business, what is a good way to monitor business performance as well as financial performance? Any tools or pointers there you would like to share?
I think both are intertwined. I think you can't separate financial performance and business performance as two different aspects of it. I think financial performance is a subset of overall business performance, is how I would call it.
Correct.
So financial performance, if it is healthy, naturally the business will be at a healthier state. doesn't denotes that they are growing at market pace or growing very aggressively. It doesn't talk about the growth rate or market share or anything. It only talks about the financial stability. Okay, that's one of the indicators. But business performance is a holistic indicator. So financial performance is a subset of business performance. Therefore, I would say if you monitor business performance, which includes financial performance, and that's the way to manage business.
So any tips and tricks you would like to share to monitor business performance, especially for MSME or startups or a new business that's trying to establish itself? What would be your advice?
Yeah, I would say that these are proven quite a lot of the thing. It depends on the business nuances, but there are certain things are very common. If you look at, I think if you look at the top line growth, EBITDA margin that you bring it to the table, then the EBITDA growth, then it is the working capital management, and all the expenses control, and how your market share vis-a-vis competition, the benchmark, how you are growing in market share, and all these things, your product edge, are you creating economic moat, which is very clearly a significant edge over competition. These are very important parameters, I would say, some of on top of the things. But market share is a very, very important thing. Working capital is very important. Top line, bottom line growth is very important. But benchmark with the industry across various parameters. And that will tell a story about whether your innovation quotient is very good. We look at that.
How to manage product-wise and service-wise profitability. And based on the profitability, what sort of business decisions should be taken?
Yeah, I think it's very important. It's not just product wise, it's SKU wise you have to get into. SKU wise, market wise, okay, customer segment wise. The more depth you get into, it tells a story.
Right.
So sometimes a customer segment will have a lower profitability, but will have a high trajectory of growth. We deliberately allow it to acquire more customers. It's a market share game. And later we'll know that whether this will have elasticity to increase the prices, therefore increasing the margin, or reduce the cost of operations. So these are two angles we look at that. So when you look at that customer segment-wise profitability, state-wise profitability, then it is SKU-wise and product-wise profitability. All these things are very important. And also compare with competition and see how it is kind of thing, how you score against them. The bottleneck for any, you need to look at as to how they invest in themselves and continuously develop capabilities to lead the company very well. I think that's a very important aspect. How do they build a human capital very strongly? Because finally, any amount of financial capital is not going to help. A strong human capital will come out in flying colors. Then a very sound financial capital with suboptimal human capital, useless results only will come. So you'll end up having a lot of FD-based income, and you will not have a kind of thing. You will not win in the marketplace. So I would say that companies should invest good amount of time on human capital, good amount of time and money, good amount of time and money on technology, the disruption, digital ones, which are very, very important. SMEs. Do not ignore that. That is where the competition from an unknown area will come and hit you. If you think my industry is traditional industry, nothing will happen. Who moved my cheese story will happen. That also happen over a period of years. But here it will be over a period of months. It will change. The turf will change. The velocity of change is kind of disruption is happening in all the field. You can't take it for granted. A great head of the institution, top management should be very, very keen and nimble-footed in spending time in technology and digital and innovation, execution. These are very important pieces, and building strong human capital and very good practices, value, culture, all these things are very, very important.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Sangeeta Shankaran for coming out with the book. called Where is the Moolah? I think it's a much needed book and would be definitely a step-by-step guide to entrepreneurs. So this book is that way. It is what is the kind of thing, the pitfalls the entrepreneur will go through, that where how they have to plan, including cost management. That was also very nice to see that cost management also very important. How one can look at operational efficiencies, productivity to drive the profitability. I think I must say that Where is the Moolah? One of my suggestions to Sangeeta Shankaran on this book. It's a fabulous book. It is better translated in vernacular language so that more people benefit out of this. Best wishes. Thank you.